Cheer, I'm on a roll today. I'm doing 2 videos today. Sorry, I'm fully in my gym gear, but for a purpose, because this video, as you can see, is about my tattoos. So I kind of wanted to have them out just to kind of talk a little bit about it. Now, I have done a video on this before about why I regretted my tattoos. I've got to get them calories in, you know what I mean? But yeah, oh, I always get a moustache when I drink these. Moustache. I was like, no, it's okay, we haven't got one today. Just basically wanted to touch on it again because it is often mentioned to me when I'm on live or my TikTok, or even just generally from my pictures and stuff, people do mention my tattoos. There's also other people that have come to me worried about their tattoos, and people just ask a lot, oh, are you going to get them removed? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? So I thought I would just do an update video, and hopefully this also helps some other people as well, and hopefully some people can relate to this. So if you're interested to hear more, keep listening. Obviously, all of my ink work, every single bit of ink on my body was done before I was in the faith. And a lot of it is very New Age concepts because it's based on my beliefs when I was in New Age. And I have gone through the tattoos individually in my other videos that you'll see further down. I'll try and link that below, but I'm just going to very briefly go over it today. I'm not going to go into every single detail. I've got a full sleeve. I've also got which you'll see in my other video that I'm not going to show today. I've got like weed leaves here. I've got a tattoo on my lower back, just Chinese symbols, which is supposed to be my star sign, which obviously I don't agree with anymore either. I've got tattoos on the back of my neck, my mum and dad's name in Arabic, and I've got my zodiac sign again, which obviously I don't mess with astrology anymore. So yeah, I've got a little music thing there. I've got strength here. Often everyone always asks me what that means. Don't ask. That was really random. My friend just randomly did that. And I got a lot of New Agey stuff here. I got scripture. Randomly, this is actually about God. Not that I'm an advocate for tattooing stuff about God on you either, but at least it's not New Agey on the upside. So do you know what I'm saying? But this is actually about God. It says something about take one day at a time, but don't be drowned in the holy. I can't remember it word for word. I literally can't. But it actually is a reference to God. So that actually isn't New Agey. But again, I wouldn't start like tattooing scripture on me or anything like that, because I'm not sure that's the best thing to do. But again, I'm not out here to judge other people when I'm doing this video, by the way. I'm just talking for myself, because again, I might be wrong. Someone might be more educated on this than me, but I don't necessarily feel like it's a sin as such to like get a tattoo. I'm not saying because someone gets a tattoo they're gonna go to hell. Like I couldn't say that, and I don't necessarily believe that either. But I do think we have to be a little bit careful in looking after our temple, and obviously it does speak about that biblically. But that can also mean in terms of our eating habits and other things as well. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, don't get tattoos, but just defile their body with junk food all the time. I mean, I don't really see how that's any better in terms of like taking care of your temple. But it does talk about it. I think it's in Leviticus. So I personally, again, I'm not judging other people, by the way, but I personally, now I'm in the faith, wouldn't get any more tattoos, just because I don't know. Again, I'm not necessarily saying it's like a sin as such, but like, I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable. I think, you know, pray on it and see how you feel, but I personally wouldn't get any more tattoos now I'm in the faith. But again, I'm not out here judging other people that make different decisions, but I personally wouldn't, but nor do I feel the need to get rid of them. So I've had a lot of people say, oh, you're going to get rid of your tattoos now that you're in your faith. And one, I don't have the money to lace all of this ink off. And a lot of the time it can leave really horrible red marks. Not that that really matters, but it's a very pricey, lengthy process. And like, I don't know, I don't feel convicted to do that. Maybe that's wrong. Like I said, I'll continue to pray on it, but I don't necessarily think it matters. I really don't. And I've spoke to other people in the faith that have been in it longer than me as well. There's a lot of people in the faith that are covered in ink, a lot, and some of them are doing the best work for God right now. So I don't necessarily think it matters. Obviously, I've repented from my ink. I've repented from New Age, you know, and I'm not going to get any more now. And I have definitely apologized to God. I've definitely repented to the Most High for all of this stuff and, you know, what it means. And, you know, I've obviously like rebuked all of that kind of stuff. So for me, in a way, like I kind of see it as like my testimony. It's kind of, in a way, it's a reminder of what God's done for me. It kind of gives me gratitude sometimes. It's a reminder of what God's brought me out of and what I could have been left in and how I might have been judged for that. And thank God that I'm not. And I just, yeah, I don't know. I just see it as a testimony. I see it as a reminder. And I think a lot of people should try and look at sometimes like the positive side of it rather than just the negative. Like see it as, okay, cool. I might not be happy with this ink now because I don't agree with what the meaning of it is. But you know what? It's a reminder of what I've saved from it. It's a reminder of my testimony. It's a reminder of my story. You know, I don't hate the ink. It doesn't bother me being out. I mean, I don't go out my way to show off my ink, but it doesn't bother me being out, you know, like when I'm in the gym or if I'm wearing a sleeveless top in the summer. It doesn't bother me. Most of the time, like it's cut. I mean, you do see it at work with my t-shirt because my t-shirt stops here. So you can see a lot of it in my job. But again, it doesn't bother me. A lot of people are like, oh, nice tattoo. And I'm like, oh, thanks. But I don't actually agree with the concept anymore. But thank you. Like, I often do say that. But I do repent. Obviously, of course, I repented from it. But again, I just see it as my testimony. You know, I see it's, oh, thank God you saved me from that. Like, I'm so grateful, and it's a reminder. So I think you can kind of take a positive aspect from it. But I personally don't believe that you have to, like, get all your tattoos taken off. There are loads of people and some great pastors and great evangelists that are covered in tattoos. So another thing that I sort of felt, and I've spoke about this before, I felt a bit judged, and I definitely think people in the faith have judged me, which I think is wrong. Like when I've been into churches and stuff in the past, and I felt judged about my ink. Like, obviously a lot of the time in the church, like, I'm covered up anyway, like, you know, and most of the time my arms aren't all out anyway, regardless. But again, when I did go there in the summer, and some of my ink was out, because at the end of the day, like, I don't think there's a problem with your ink being out in the church. I really don't. But I was trying to cover it up because I felt self-conscious. I mean, I wouldn't go out my way to have it out, obviously, but it was a hot day, it was summer, so I was thinking, oh no, like, oh no, they're gonna judge me. And I was very self-conscious, and I felt really anxious. I remember even saying to my friend, like, I didn't even want to go at one point. I was like, oh, they might judge me, they might still think I'm a new age. And I definitely felt like the pastor in this church was definitely speaking more on occultism and witchcraft when I was there. I was thinking, like, maybe he's putting this towards me, because there was some rumors that had happened, so, like, beforehand. So I was thinking, I wonder if this is directed towards me. It might not have been, but I definitely felt like judged to some degree, and I felt a little bit insecure. I think, like, oh, maybe people are going to think, 'cause, you know, and the truth is there generally is a lot of witches in churches. That generally is true. Again, there's a lot of false churches out there as well. Someone's revving out there. Sorry guys, I totally forgot to shut my window through both my videos today. So sorry. But yeah, there's a lot of, obviously that is true, but it's like, you can't just go around assuming, like, you really have to discern on it, and, you know, you can't just assume that someone is that. And I just felt like people definitely did with me, and I thought, you'd see people's eyes looking down, you know, and you see people looking down at your ink, and you're like, wonder what's going through their head right now. You know, but I don't feel the need to, like, go out and justify myself about it, because why should I? If you're judging me without knowing the story, you're going to be judged by God for doing that anyway. So we have to try and think, if you are someone in my position as well, we have to try and think like, they're the ones that are going to be judged for judging us like that. So we're not the ones that should be worried, because if that's what they're doing, in a bad light, it's fair enough if someone just politely asks. I'm more than happy to speak about it, you know, but a lot of people will judge you negatively, and that's really wrong, and God will judge them for that. So I really pray that people don't do that, because I think it really discourages people from the faith, and that's the last thing you want to do. You know what I mean? You definitely don't want to be discouraging people. And I definitely felt like judged at times, and I think I still probably would to some degree. I think even still walking into a church today, I think I still would feel that way, if I'm being honest. But again, sometimes that's just me as well. Sometimes it's not necessarily the church. Those other times it has been, and I have been judged, but sometimes it is just my worry about it as well. You know, sometimes I'm worried for no reason. So, like, don't ever let it stop you though, because sometimes that's the devil. Don't ever let it stop you. That's why, even though I felt insecure, I still went. And don't ever let other people judging you on it stop you either, because understand that's their issue. And I think it's a thing where you've just got to push through that, because Satan might use that to try and stop you from doing something good, like going to a church or doing fellowship, because of your insecurity about it. Don't worry about it. Understand that it's the other people that are wrong if they're badly judging you for it anyway. But yeah, it's crazy, because like I said, I've got a lot of new age. I've got, like, the all-seeing eye, I've got the chakras, I've got a lot of geometry, I've got the mandala, I've got a skull, I've got another mandala, you know what I mean? So I've got skulls in the wings of the hair. I've got a lot of stuff that is not good, but I don't let it hold me back. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect my life in any way. I've repented from it. God forgives. God forgives. And we know this. Our God is a very forgiving God. So, you know, I don't think it's something we need to overly stress about. And I really hope this helps anyone else that might also be worrying about that. But yeah, you're always going to get people judging you, especially within the faith. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And these same people will be struggling with their own sins. So don't stress. But yeah, I hope that helps. And I hope it gave people a little bit more insight into my ink. And obviously, like I said, I don't plan on getting any more. I don't plan on doing anything else to my skin in terms of inking it by any means. So, I just hit myself in my nose. So what's there is there. It is what it is. Like I said, I don't plan on removing it either. I don't really see that as an issue. But yeah. Oh, I've actually got another one behind my ear as well, which apparently is the Harry Potter symbol, which is even more worrying because obviously Harry Potter is to do with magic and the demonic. So great. But I've never actually watched Harry Potter. I didn't like it even before I was in the faith. So that was just a random day. I remember actually, that was my birthday actually. And I remember this was years ago. And I remember, I think I was supposed to be going out with my ex. And I remember, I think he like cancelled on me or he argued with me and he like left me on my ones on my birthday. And I remember I was like bored. And I said to myself, oh, I'm just going to go get a tattoo. And that's how that, I don't know if you can probably see, I don't know if I can twist enough for you to see it. But anyway, that's how that ended up getting there. Very random. And I just picked a random shape off Google. I didn't even know it was like from Harry Potter. And then people were like, oh, you've got the Harry Potter thing. And I'm like, what? Now, obviously, I'm like, damn, I rebuke that. But yeah, I forgot about that one. Sometimes I actually forget. Oh, yeah. And this is another tattoo that I forgot. And again, I don't agree with tattooing any type of like, anything to do with God on your body. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I'm not saying it is. Again, I'm not judging others, but I forget I have this tattoo. But how random. And bear in mind, I got this before I believed in Yeshua, before I gave my life to Christ. So that's a cross. How random is that? And it's on my wedding finger as well. And I thought, oh, I know that's not good to have ink, but I kind of like, a part of me was kind of like, oh, maybe it was always meant to be. It's the same way like when I first moved into my flat, yeah, and I looked straight across from out my main window, and I can see it now. There's a cross. I don't know if it's a church. It doesn't look like a church building. It might be like an office that's turned into a church. But I looked at it, and at first, when I first moved in, I was like, oh, I don't like that there. Because obviously I was in New Age back then, so I didn't believe in any of that. I thought it was evil. Can you imagine? Now I'm like, wow, it's staring me in my face this whole time. God knew, obviously, of course God knew, but I was like, wow, this is crazy. It made me realize how much more God knew what was going to happen. Of course he knew what was going to happen with me. He knew probably before I was even born. But like, I was just like, that's crazy. What are the chances? Like, I just found that really weird. Obviously, I'm not saying the ink is good, but I just found that really weird, especially as it's on my wedding finger as well. I just find that really weird. It was like it's always meant to be or something, you know? But anyway, I hope everyone's blessed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, my legs kill me from the gym. And yeah, I really hope to see you guys in my next video. And I'd love to hear other people's stories and stuff as well. So please do comment below. But yeah, I hope to see you guys in my next video. And God bless you all.